Dirty Dancing was more than a love story. It was music, movement, summer heat, and a feeling fans never forgot. But behind the romance, the dance floor, and those unforgettable moments were actors whose real lives came with heartbreak, illness, silence, and loss. Some became icons, some were remembered for only a few scenes, and some beloved faces are now sadly gone. Let's begin this emotional journey and remember the Dirty Dancing actors who passed away. Jerry Orbach, born on October 20th, 1935, brought firm fatherly presence to Dirty Dancing at 51 years old as Dr. Jake Houseman, Baby's protective father. Serious, loving, and sometimes too sure of his own judgment, Jake was not a villain. He was a father trying to protect his daughter in a world he did not fully understand, which made his conflict with Baby feel painfully real. Away from Kellerman's, Jerry was already a respected Broadway performer before becoming a television icon. He later became beloved as Detective Lenny Briscoe on Law & Order, and voiced Lumiere in Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Jerry Orbach passed away on December 28, 2004, at the age of 69 after battling prostate cancer. His death closed the life of a performer who had moved with rare ease between stage, film, animation, and television. Dr. Houseman remains memorable because Jerry gave him more than strictness. He showed the fear, pride, tenderness, and quiet regret of a father learning that his little girl was growing up. Patrick Swayze, born on August 18, 1952, became the soul of Dirty Dancing at 34 years old as Johnny Castle, the working-class dance instructor who changed Baby's summer forever. Magnetic, guarded, and full of restless grace, Johnny was more than a romantic lead. He carried pride, hurt, and the frustration of a man judged by class before anyone bothered to know his heart. Beyond the dance floor, Patrick became one of Hollywood's defining stars with Roadhouse, Ghost, Point Break, and To Wong Foo. He also co-wrote and sang She's Like the Wind, giving the film another piece of his own emotion. Patrick Swayze died on September 14, 2009, at the age of 57, after a brave battle with pancreatic cancer. Fans mourned not only a movie star, but a dancer, singer, and performer with rare physical poetry. Johnny Castle still feels electric because Patrick made him tough and tender at the same time. He gave Dirty Dancing its heat, heartbreak, and one of cinema's most unforgettable final dances. Jack Weston, born on August 21, 1924, brought old resort owner authority to Dirty Dancing at 63 years old as Max Kellerman, the man running the Catskills Hotel where Baby's summer changed forever. Practical, watchful, and shaped by another era, Max represented the polished world above the staff quarters. He understood business, appearances, and tradition, which made Kellerman's feel like a real place caught between old rules and younger desires. Besides, Jack Weston had a long career as a character actor in film, theater, and television. He appeared in The Cincinnati Kid, Wait Until Dark, Gator, and earned a Tony nomination for The Floating Light Bulb. Jack Weston passed away on May 3, 1996, at the age of 71 after battling lymphoma. His death ended the career of a performer whose face had become familiar across decades of American entertainment. Max Kellerman remains part of the film's nostalgic frame. Jack gave him enough charm and authority to make the resort feel alive. Not just a backdrop, but a fading world with its own rules. Paula Trueman, born on April 25, 1897, appeared in Dirty Dancing at 90 years old as Mrs. Schumacher, the elderly guest whose sweet appearance hides a surprising secret. Small, polite, and quietly mischievous, Mrs. Schumacher brought a playful twist to the resort story. She seemed harmless at first, but her role added humor and a little mystery to Kellerman's carefully managed world. Outside Dirty Dancing, Paula had a remarkable career on stage, film, and television. She appeared in Broadway productions, silent era and classic era projects, and later films such as The Stepford Wives and Zelig, carrying almost a century of performance history. Paula Trueman passed away on March 23, 1994, at the age of 96. Her long life stretched across enormous changes in American entertainment, from early theater traditions to modern movie classics. Mrs. Schumacher remains memorable because Paula played her with a twinkle instead of making her a simple joke. Her small role gave the film one of its stranger, funnier side stories. Max Cantor, born on May 15, 1959, brought slick privilege to Dirty Dancing at 28 years old as Robbie Gould, the arrogant waiter whose choices hurt the people around him. Smug, handsome, and casually cruel, Robbie was the kind of character audiences were meant to dislike. He exposed the darker class divide beneath the resort's summer romance, showing how charm could hide selfishness. Away from Kellerman's, Max had a brief acting career that included Dirty Dancing and Fear, Anxiety, and Depression. He later moved toward journalism, writing for publications such as The Village Voice. Max Cantor passed away on October 3, 1991, at just 32 years old from a heroin overdose. His death was a tragic end to a young life that had moved between acting, writing, and the darker realities he was investigating. Robbie Gould remains one of the film's most quietly disturbing figures. Max Cantor made him believable enough to feel real, giving Dirty Dancing a villain who did not need loud cruelty to be dangerous. Charles Honi Coles, born on April 2, 1911, brought real dance history to Dirty Dancing at 76 years old, as Tito Suarez, the bandleader at Kellerman's Resort. Smooth, dignified, and quietly elegant, Tito gave the music a living connection to another era. He was not part of Baby and Johnny's romance, but his presence helped make the resort feel filled with rhythm, tradition, and old-school class. Besides, Honi Coles was a legendary tap dancer. He performed with Charles "Charlie" Atkins, won major stage honors for My One and Only, and received the National Medal of Arts for his contribution to American dance. Honi Coles passed away on November 12, 1992, at the age of 81 after cancer. His death marked the loss of a performer who carried decades of tap, jazz, and stage elegance in his feet. Tito Suarez remains special because Coles brought authenticity the film could not fake. In a movie about dance, he represented the deeper roots behind the movement, grace earned over a lifetime. Garry Goodrow, born on November 4, 1933, appeared in Dirty Dancing at 53 years old as Mo Pressman, one of the resort guests inside Kellerman's summer world. Relaxed, familiar, and lightly comic, Mo belonged to the older guest circle that made the resort feel socially alive. He was not central to the love story, but characters like him helped create the atmosphere of a real Catskills vacation community. Outside the film, Garry had a long career in theater, improv, film, and television. He was part of the committee improvisational group and appeared in movies such as Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Escape from Alcatraz, and Eating Raoul. Garry Goodrow passed away on July 22, 2014, at the age of 80. His later years closed a career built less on stardom and more on steady, character-driven work across American entertainment. Mo Pressman remains a small piece of Kellerman's texture. Garry gave the role an easy presence, helping the resort feel crowded with real people, private stories, and summer memories. Jennifer Stahl, born on April 11, 1962, appeared in Dirty Dancing at 25 years old as one of the dancers who helped bring Kellerman's music-filled nights to life. Athletic, graceful, and part of the film's physical heartbeat, her role showed how much the movie depended on dancers beyond the main stars. Every turn, lift, and background movement helped make the resort feel alive after dark. Away from Dirty Dancing, Jennifer continued working as a dancer and performer, with her screen legacy most closely tied to the film's unforgettable dance world. Her contribution was brief, but it belonged to the movement and energy that made the movie iconic. Jennifer Stahl passed away on May 10, 2001, at the age of 39. Her life ended tragically in New York City, a shocking loss that made her story one of the most heartbreaking among the film's extended cast. Her name may not be as famous as Baby or Johnny, but her presence mattered. Jennifer Stahl was part of the ensemble magic that gave Dirty Dancing its pulse, heat, and lasting sense of movement. Cynthia Rhodes, born on November 21, 1956, brought wounded grace to Dirty Dancing at 30 years old as Penny Johnson, Johnny Castle's dance partner at Kellerman's. Elegant, controlled, and quietly heartbreaking, Penny carried one of the film's most painful storylines. She was strong on the dance floor, but behind that precision was a young woman facing fear, betrayal, and a life-changing decision almost completely alone. Away from Kellerman's, Cynthia became known for dance-driven films and music work. She appeared in Flashdance, Staying Alive, and Runaway, and also performed with the pop group Animotion before stepping away from Hollywood. Now 69, Cynthia Rhodes has lived a very private life for many years. After marrying singer Richard Marx and raising a family, she largely retired from acting, leaving fans with only a small but memorable screen career. Penny Johnson remains unforgettable because Cynthia made her pain feel quiet instead of dramatic. Her dancing gave the movie elegance, while her vulnerability gave Baby's coming-of-age story real emotional weight. Kelly Bishop, born on February 28, 1944, brought sharp maternal warmth to Dirty Dancing at 43 years old as Marjorie Houseman, Baby and Lisa's mother. Observant, elegant, and more perceptive than she first appears, Marjorie gave the Houseman family a softer balance. She did not dominate the story, but her quiet support helped show that Baby's growth was being watched with love, not just judgment. Beyond the resort, Kelly had already won a Tony Award for a chorus line before becoming widely loved by television fans. Later, she became iconic as Emily Gilmore on Gilmore Girls, proving her gift for playing strong women with bite and grace. Today, Kelly Bishop is 82 and remains admired across stage and television audiences. Her later work, memoir, and enduring connection to Gilmore Girls have kept her name alive with multiple generations. Marjorie Houseman may be understated, but Kelly gave her intelligence and warmth. She helped make Baby's family feel real. Not perfect, not cold, but full of quiet love beneath the surface. Jane Brucker, born on May 14, 1958, brought comic older sister energy to Dirty Dancing at 29 years old as Lisa Houseman, Baby's glamorous and slightly self-absorbed sister. Funny, dramatic, and wonderfully unaware of how ridiculous she could be, Lisa added lightness to the film. Her confidence, flirting, and unforgettable hula hana moment gave the story a playful contrast to Baby's deeper emotional awakening. Away from Kellerman's, Jane appeared in films and television, including Stealing Home and Miami Vice. She later moved away from regular Hollywood work and built a life that included writing, teaching, and family. Currently 68, Jane Brucker lives much more privately than her movie character ever would have. She still appears occasionally at Dirty Dancing events, where fans celebrate Lisa as one of the film's funniest supporting roles. Lisa Houseman remains memorable because Jane played her with affection, not cruelty. She made Lisa silly, confident, and oddly lovable, the kind of sister audiences laugh at while secretly enjoying every minute. Lonny Price, born on March 9, 1959, brought privileged awkwardness to Dirty Dancing at 28 years old as Neal Kellerman, the resort owner's grandson who tries to impress Baby. Eager, entitled, and painfully unaware of how little charm he has, Neal worked because he was not a classic villain. He was the kind of young man who believed status made him interesting, while Baby was slowly discovering a world with much more passion, danger, and truth. Before and after Dirty Dancing, Lonny built a career that reached far beyond acting. He appeared in The Muppets Take Manhattan, came from a strong theater background, and later became a respected director and writer, especially in New York theater and televised stage productions. Now 67, Lonny Price is known more for directing than for being Neal Kellerman. His later work includes acclaimed musical theater projects, Sondheim concerts, and Emmy-winning television direction, proving that his biggest impact came from behind the camera and stage lights. Neal Kellerman remains funny because Lonny played him with just the right mix of confidence and cluelessness. He helped make Baby's choice feel clearer. The safe world offered to her was never going to be enough. Wayne Knight, born on August 7, 1955, appeared in Dirty Dancing at 32 years old as Stan, one of the resort's comic side characters during Baby's unforgettable summer. Nervous, talkative, and built for small moments of awkward humor, Stan added another layer to Kellerman's busy social world. He was not part of the main romance, but roles like his helped the resort feel crowded, funny, and full of odd little personalities. Wayne's career became much bigger after the film. He went on to become famous as Newman on Seinfeld, Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park, and Officer Dawn on Third Rock from the Sun, while also building a long voice acting career in animation and family films. Today, Wayne Knight is 70 and remains active in entertainment. Recent appearances and fan events show how strongly audiences still connect him with several classic roles, from sitcom comedy to blockbuster adventure, and even early appearances like Dirty Dancing. Stan may be a small part of the movie, but Wayne Knight's later fame gives the role extra charm. He is one of those faces fans spot on rewatch and say, "Wait, was that him?" Neal Jones, born on January 2, 1960, brought working-class urgency to Dirty Dancing at 27 years old as Billy Kostecki, Johnny Castle's cousin, and the staff member who pulls Baby deeper into the resort's hidden world. Direct, loyal, and caught between the upstairs guests and downstairs workers, Billy helped open the door to the real story behind the music. He is the one carrying the watermelon, the one connected to Penny's crisis, and the one who shows Baby that Kellerman's has two very different summers happening at once. Neal's career after the film included strong work in theater, television, and film. He appeared in The Devil's Advocate, Chinese Coffee, Law and Order, and the HBO miniseries Generation Kill, building a resume rooted more in serious character work than celebrity fame. Now 66, Neal Jones has remained a respected working actor rather than a tabloid name. His path has stayed close to stage and screencraft, with roles that reward viewers who recognize faces from deeper film and television catalogs. Billy Kostecki remains memorable because he changes the direction of Baby's summer without needing a grand speech. Neal gave him a grounded, believable presence, the kind of person who makes the world behind the romance feel real. Miranda Garrison, born on May 19, 1950, brought confident adult sensuality to Dirty Dancing at 37 years old as Vivian Pressman, the resort guest whose presence complicates Johnny's world. Bold, polished, and dangerous, in a quiet way, Vivian represented the adult side of Kellerman's that Baby was only beginning to understand. She was glamorous, lonely, and used to getting attention, which made her rejection of Johnny feel sharp and personal. Miranda's connection to the film went far beyond acting. She was also an assistant choreographer on Dirty Dancing, helping shape the movement, chemistry, and dance language that made the movie feel so alive. Her wider career included choreography work on film, television, and major dance projects. Now 75, Miranda Garrison is still remembered not only as Vivian, but as one of the creative forces behind the film's unforgettable physical energy. Her later work kept her connected to dance, performance, and the craft of making bodies tell stories on screen. Vivian Pressman remains memorable because she brought tension without needing much screen time. Miranda gave her elegance, pride, and a grown-up sadness that helped Dirty Dancing feel more complicated than a simple summer romance. Anton Pagan, born on August 22, 1957, appeared in Dirty Dancing at 28 years old as a staff kid, one of the young workers who helped create the hidden world behind Kellerman's polished guest experience. Energetic, casual, and part of the resort's downstairs rhythm, his role belonged to the side of the story where the real dancing happened. These staff characters gave the film its heat, movement, and sense of life after the guests stopped watching. Anton's career after the movie included acting, producing, public service, and local politics. He appeared in films and television, later became involved in New York City civic life, and served on the New York City Council, giving his public story a very different direction from Hollywood fame. Today, Anton Pagan is 68 and is best known less for celebrity culture than for a varied life across entertainment, government, and community work. His Dirty Dancing role remains a small but nostalgic piece of his early screen career. His staff kid appearance matters because the movie's magic depended on more than its leads. Anton was part of the ensemble that made Kellerman's feel divided between polite daylight and a freer, more electric world after dark. Emile Ardolino, born on May 9, 1943, was 44 years old when Dirty Dancing was released, appearing briefly in a cameo, while also serving as the film's director. His cameo was small, but his real presence was everywhere. Ardolino understood that the movie had to be more than dance numbers. It needed class tension, family conflict, sexual awakening, and the feeling of one summer changing a young woman forever. Before Dirty Dancing, Emile had already won an Academy Award for the documentary He Makes Me Feel Like Dancin'. After the film became a phenomenon, he directed projects such as Three Men and a Little Lady and Sister Act, showing a gift for crowd-pleasing stories with warmth. Emile Ardolino passed away on November 20, 1993, at the age of 50 from complications of AIDS. His death came far too early, only a few years after he had helped create one of the most beloved romantic films of the 1980s. His legacy is not built on the cameo, but on the feeling he captured. Ardolino gave Dirty Dancing its pulse, the mix of music, longing, rebellion, and release that still makes audiences want to stand up when the final dance begins. Jennifer Grey, born on March 26, 1960, became the emotional center of Dirty Dancing at 27 years old as Frances "Baby" Houseman, the young woman whose summer at Kellerman's changed everything. Curious, idealistic, and more courageous than she first realizes, Baby was not the typical glamorous heroine. She stumbled, questioned, pushed back, and slowly discovered her own voice, which made her coming-of-age story feel honest and deeply personal. Jennifer's career around that period included Red Dawn and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but Dirty Dancing made her a cultural icon. Years later, she won Dancing with the Stars, proving that the connection between her and dance still carried emotional power for audiences. Now 66, Jennifer Grey remains active in entertainment and continues to be closely linked to the legacy of Baby Houseman. Her later life has included acting, writing, public reflection on fame, and renewed attention around the future of the Dirty Dancing story. Baby remains unforgettable because Jennifer made innocence feel active, not passive. She gave the film its eyes, its conscience, and its emotional transformation. The girl who arrived as a guest and left as someone who finally understood herself. Thank you for watching. We hope this tribute to the beloved faces of Dirty Dancing brought back meaningful memories. Please share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us in the next video.